Hi, I'm Charlie.
My name's Ben.
And this is Just That Film. And in this episode, we are talking about Midnight Express from 1978. Directed by Alan Parker, who's done Pink Floyd The Wall.
Bugsy Malone,
Evita, The Commit...
9.5 weeks.
No, should I start again?
Oh, sorry. That's Alan Parker.
This is Alan Parker.
Are you sure I didn't do 9.5 weeks?
Look on your phone.
I was charging.
I'm going to leave it in there and just embarrass you. Directed by Alan Parker, who done Pink Floyd The Wall, Evita, The Commitments, Mississippi Burning, and Bugsy Malone.
Cool.
Yeah.
Adrian Lynch, I think that's right. 9.5 weeks. Is it Adrian Lynch?
I was going to cut all that out anyway.
Okay.
He was nominated for this and also for Mississippi Burning.
I've seen that. What's that about?
I watched it quite recently actually. It's got William Dafoe and Gene Hackman, and they're investigating a murder of a young black man. It's in like the deep south with all like the Ku Klux Klan and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a romantic comedy. This was written by Oliver Stone, who he got an Oscar for this. Oliver Stone, this is actually one of his first writing projects. So
Where do I know him from? I know the name Oliver Stone, but
so he went on to also write Scarface.
Right.
But he became bigger as a director, like
Basic Instinct. Did he do Basic Instinct?
You're going to keep doing this?
Sorry.
No, that's Paul Verhoeven.
I'll be shut up.
Alan Parker also directed Angel Heart, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
That's what I was thinking of, not thinking of that, but I knew his name from somewhere else. I've heard of him. I know he's directed a lot of films I've watched, but I love Angel Heart.
Okay. So in this, we've got John Hurt, who plays the old man in it. Well, the old man is 38.
Is he?
Yeah.
In this?
Doesn't he look really old? But yeah, he's only 38.
But this is before Partners as well. He looks younger in Partners than he does in this.
Yeah.
I suppose it's the makeup.
But he did get Oscar nominated for this.
Yeah.
Well, he grew the hair. He also didn't wash throughout the shoot. It was like 52 day shoot, and he wouldn't wash at all. And they said that they said he smelt like shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great actor. Also an Alien, Elephant Man.
Partners.
But Billy Hayes, who this is based on, said that he did bear a striking resemblance to the person he was actually based on as well. You got Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
6'5", Randy Quaid.
Is he 6'5"?
Yeah. So that's why the others all.
Don't look that tall.
He does. He looks massive. He's taller.
I just thought the others were short. Like I thought that Brad Davis. I thought he was probably about like 5'5" or something.
He's 5'7", so he's quite short. But no, Randy Quaid is like 6'5". Went on to be in like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Kingpin, Independence Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brad Davis, who was also in Chariots of Fire. And in 1979, he contracted HIV. And by 1985, it developed into full-blown AIDS. He died by assisted suicide from his wife, Susan Bluestein, who he'd met. She was a casting director.
So it's a shame, isn't it? There's a lot of people died of AIDS at that time because there was no one knew what it was, and it was just killing people. But the thing is, it's like your body would shut down, and so you would just catch every illness, and it would be magnified.
Yeah.
And it's like they end up looking like basically just like skeletons. It's like it was horrible.
Well, we got the HIV in 1979, so that was
one
really
of the first ones.
That's quite an early one. So
and it was done. Was it from drugs?
Yeah, intravenous drugs.
Yeah, because he used to have a drug habit, I think. It's a shame. He was good. He probably would have been along with all the bigger names because around about that sort of time.
Yeah.
You know, the Al Pacinos, Robert De Niro's, that type. The Dustin Hoffmans.
He was really good in this. But I think he was his own worst enemy. He was a bit of a wild child sort of thing. And apparently there was he was snubbed by the Academy. Like he'd won other awards building up to the Academy Awards, but he didn't get a nomination for Best Actor. And they reckon it might have been because he was at this one Hollywood party where he was drinking a lot. He was sort of just being really lewd. He ripped his top open and went, "Where's the drugs? I want the drugs." and in his hotel room he smeared shit all around the walls.
Really?
Yeah, and he shot at like these picture frames with a gun. So it was like one of those, and apparently when it was happening, someone heard a studio bigwig nearby and well, that's the end of his career then.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he just got probably
Like
overexcited. Well, he'd just done this film where he'd got all this rave reviews and he was winning loads of awards and getting nominated for loads of awards.
So why would he want to destroy it?
Well, he probably didn't want to destroy it, but he probably felt indestructible. You suddenly go from nothing to superstardom. Everyone's saying, you're the next big thing. You're the next De Niro, Pacino.
Wait till you're the next big thing before you start.
Well, this is, they've had through like Cannes and everything. Everyone just sort of patting him on the back saying, that's it, this is great.
Well, because he was, and it was such a powerful film.
Yeah. He was also bisexual, and his mum sexually abused him.
And he was bisexual as well?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Is that how he got it? Because that's what I thought. First of all, when they said, straight away it goes to, because of the timing, I would have thought it was because of like gay sex. That's what. And then also with drug users, and also with blood transfusions. It happened a lot.
No, I don't know. Well, this is according to his, because he kept his illness a secret right up until when he committed suicide, which I think was early 90s. It was like 91 or something like that. And his wife then said, he'd contracted it through like intravenous drugs. But, you know, if he contracted it from sleeping with a man, she probably wouldn't be telling everyone that anyway. No. She'd probably think it's...
But as I say, that's what we know. We know it was from drugs. But yeah, it's a shame. It's horrible to think that that's his only way out, the suicide, because the illness is that bad.
Yeah.
And it was literally a death sentence back then. I mean, look at the likes of like Freddie Mercury, Kenny Everett, two of them that I absolutely adore. Rock Hudson. You know, there's quite a few, and there's probably a few that we don't know about. But yes.
You've also got Michael Ensign is in this. He's got a small part. He's the guy who tells him he's going to be in there for another 30 years. The American bloke who's helping him, and he tries to grab him. Yeah. You know, he was in Ghostbusters, Titanic, and in Friends he was Dr. Ledbetter, the one who eats Ross's sandwich. Okay. I'm afraid that was me who ate your sandwich.
Oh, is that him?
Boss.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay.
I recognised him, but I
didn't recognise him.
Well, he's a lot younger then, you know. So this film I hadn't watched for years.
No, same here.
Oh, and by the way, just in case you was worried, the cat
who did not die.
It looks like a real dead cat though, because the way it moves. Yeah, but the way when he holds it and it sort of flops, and I thought, surely they want to kill the cat just for the film.
They
doped it.
They doped it, you know, like when it makes them go. Because the other thing is, like when my cat died, when Jet died, she went stiff as a board within like 20 minutes. She was stiff. So if you had a dead cat, it probably would solidify quite quickly. Now, you notice when John Hurt takes the cat down, it's all floppy. And he gets it and he's cuddling it.
What was it hung up by then? His neck?
No, it's like a harness. It's held to a harness. So they anaesthetise the cat. Okay. Like if you're doing surgery on them, so it goes all floppy. Then they attach the harness, hang it up there, and they go, okay, action, John. So John will come out, he'd go up. The thing that's wrapped around is artificial. It looks as if that's what it's been tied up there with. So he's holding it, because if he took that off, it would still hang there because it's hanging by the harness. And he undoes the harness,
because the way
brings
it flops,
down.
And I thought, oh my god, that's a real cat.
Yeah.
That ain't a fake cat.
No.
Especially in the 70s.
No,
like they would have looked like a toy.
Yeah, no, I looked it up, so no animals were harmed.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes, you think there's a bit where she's trying to cut chicken heads off, and I think actually...
Yeah, there's a bit where the chicken's getting his head cut off.
Yeah, but you don't actually see the head getting cut off. It looks like it cuts away as
Do you reckon they just say things like that afterwards just to cover their backs?
Maybe. I weren't there. But...
I don't know, are we going to get backlash for this? Because that cat's been killed. And
yeah, but at the time, there was other ones where they've said... oh yeah, we did for the film. You know, we killed the horses, or we stepped on that scorpion, or whatever.
And the octopus.
And the octopus. We had sex with the octopus, or whatever. But no, I know, because when that bit happened, I remember talking to you a while back about, oh, when you do Midnight Express, and you was like, oh, something, you mentioned the cat.
I didn't say the cat. It wasn't me. I didn't even remember that bit in it.
Oh, okay.
Must be someone else you was
I
talking
thought
to
you
about
had.
it.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, who else was I doing a podcast with?
No, but I'm saying you might have been talking to someone else about it. With the cat
No,
thing.
because I forgot all about it. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did.
I must misremembered. But yeah, so the cat didn't die,
Good.
and his name's Snuffles, and he's alive today.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So this film I haven't watched for about 30 years,
I'd say exactly the same, if not longer.
but I think it's great. I actually prefer it now than when I watched it. When I watched it when I was younger, it's a very disturbing film. It's very, you know what I think of it like? I think of it like a proper like sordid 70s dirty.
Shawshank Redemption.
No, I think Shawshank.
No, but it reminds me of Shawshank Redemption.
Oh no! The thing, no.
It's
What?
got that.
What I'm trying to get at is you had certain films in the 70s that were exclusive to the 70s. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, that griminess. You can smell it through the screen.
Sorcerer.
That's the one you've done a podcast on.
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Deliverance.
Yeah. There's that kind of really grittiness of some 70s films that like Cruising. I think is another one. Like
Apocalypse Now. That's what I call music. That's what his full name is. But they all seem very hot. It's like the environment. It feels like you can see the sweat. You can smell it. Yeah. And the whole thing just seems really grimy and it feels really realistic. It feels like a snuff film.
Yeah.
And it was like the 70s done some of these films like that, which were really...
was so realistic.
And that's what this feels
so
like.
Grimy. Yeah. You feel like you need to go to wash after it.
Yeah, as opposed to say like... Then when you got into the 80s, you had the more optimistic, like, yeah, everything's going to be good.
These in babysitting.
Yeah, and Back to the Future and stuff like that. But, whereas this was like really uncomfortable cinema. Like Alan Parker, when he got into making this film, he said to the crew, he wrote a letter for all the cast and crew beforehand saying, this is going to be very violent, it's going to be very sort of brutal and feel really uncomfortable for people to watch. And I think he's brilliant. I think he's a fantastic director. I think like the bit at the beginning when he's waiting to get on the plane, it feels so intense. And every time I watch it, I know he's going to get caught. Yeah. But I still
think, is he going to get away with it? It's like when Carrie gets the blood poured on her, you think, maybe this time they won't do it.
You think, wouldn't it be nice if they shot a version when he gets on the plane and on the DVD, you can, every so often you go, I'm going to watch the short version, the 10-minute version where he gets away with it. Although apparently in real life, that Billy Hayes, it was actually the 4th time he'd done it. He'd successfully smuggled drugs out of Turkey 3 previous times. And then on the 4th time he got caught. But I prefer that they kept that out of it because you feel like...
Yeah, it's a first time thing.
Yeah, because years ago, I had someone try to court me into doing that. Taking drugs from like Morocco to Spain or something. They hadn't said it explicitly, but they were saying, so what do you do for a living? How much you can make money doing this. But I mention it because I remember in my head I thought, I've seen Midnight Express, fuck off, I ain't doing that.
I remember someone who I knew years ago, who I still know, but I'm not going to say, sewed half an E into their headband.
Why?
Half an E.
So you can push it into your little ear there.
So is it worth it? And then panics just before the end.
Where were they travelling from?
I can't remember, but I know they sewed half an E into the headband. Going, oh shit! And they started panicking, like he was getting closer and pulled the headband up and chucked it. But half an E, is it really worth
the headband
it?
As well. Yeah. What a knobhead! They would have found that and gone, keep it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like all the effort to undo it, and then I sewed half an E into the headband.
I think if he just put it in his pocket and they'd found it, they would have gone.
No, it was a girl.
Or her. They would have got it out of her pocket and they would have gone, all right, go through. We're not going to bust her for half an E. Can I guess who it was?
No, don't guess. But anyway,
I think I know who it was.
Yeah, no, anyway. Don't guess.
But yeah, so that bit at the beginning, I really feel like, even today when I went into work, there was a young guy, probably about 30, talking to me about some health plan thing, and he had an older guy with him who's probably like about your age maybe, or maybe a bit older. And he said, what are you listening to? I was actually listening to the Midnight Express soundtrack.
It's a brilliant soundtrack, actually. The score.
We'll get onto that. Yeah. But I was listening, I went, I'm listening to Midnight Express soundtrack. He went, I don't know. And I went, well, Midnight Express. And the older guy went, oh yeah, Midnight Express, oh God. Yeah. And I said, and this young guy had never heard of it. And I said, you need to go home and watch it, especially if you've got any kids.
Yeah.
You know, show it to them. And the reason being, it puts the fear of God into you that you would never do something so stupid as try to smuggle drugs from another country.
I've never even in my wildest times, I never would have dreamed of doing anything like that. Like, I've been too shit scared taking anything.
But do you think this film might be responsible for the fear?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like I just the thought of, it might have actually been exactly, but it might actually be this film.
I think it was. I mean, for me, it was this was definitely this film. And watching it the other night, as I said, that opening with him strapping the stuff to him, and going to the airport, and he's with her queuing up, and he's like, "I've got to go to the toilet."
But
and
he fucks himself because you sit there and you think you were now the only one walking through. You should have just walked through with your girlfriend, and now you're the one coming through. And it's like you think,
when they're searching him, and he's on the bus, and he gets down, he's like, I've dropped my passport, kind of thing. You think, you should have just
like
through.
It's like proper novice.
Yeah.
Proper novice.
Yeah.
But it's a film that, as I say, I know I'd seen it years ago, about 30 odd years ago. Really good film though, and it has got bits where, and I think because I thought, hang on a minute. So how comes he's out, like, you know, when they let him go to do that to try and get the real drug dealer, and then he makes a run for it and all this kind of stuff, and then keeps looking over, and you think, just fuck off somewhere, just don't look back, just run. I know that's not a film, exactly. But then there's
when he knocks things over, and you think, you prick.
I know. And you think you deserve to get caught. He does that, but then he gets the sentence, and I think, he's only in there for 3 years. That's all right.
Yeah,
but then he gets to the end, right in the end, and you think, oh my God, how bad is that? At the end, they go, I'm sorry, you've got 53 days left, but no, it's overturned now. You've got life, or you've got another 30 years. You'd go, what? Like, of course. And then that's it. You might as well just do everything you can to get out of there.
Yeah.
But that prison warden bloke, how vile is him with his two little kids? Well, two big kids.
Yeah.
Like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They remind me of, what's it, out of Alice in Wonderland? You know, the Matt Lucas.
Oh, yeah,
I've never seen it, but you know, Matt Lucas.
I thought you were going to say it reminds me of the girls out of America or in London who are sitting there.
No. But they're like two little sort of Oompa Loompa sort of.
Yeah.
And he's vile,
to work.
And also the little weasel one.
Oh, Rafiki.
And you know, you think, oh God. And I remember watching the film, because I watched it with Joe. And I was.
Had he seen it before?
No, he hadn't. He liked it. But you know, there's them two characters. I thought they've got to get their comeuppance. And I
the
think,
kids.
No, the two.
Oh,
the
Rafiki and the warden.
The warden.
But they do.
Yeah.
They do.
And it's like,
and they do brutally as well, because Rafiki, which always makes me laugh because that's the name of the monkey out of Lion King. So before he became the monkey in Lion King, he was such a snidey little prick as well. Because he's not a warden or anything. He's just another prisoner who's selling these drugs, and
they stole his money
and burnt it as well. Because I started thinking, they're going to find the money, because it'd been so long. I forgot what happened in the film, and I knew there was a bit where he beats someone up. So when I thought, please beat him, and where he's right going into it, there's a bit where he's wasting his energy on sinks, and I think save it for him, but. Then he has that bit where he bites the tongue out. Yeah. Which apparently when they shot that, loads of the crew walked off set. And you think, pricks. It's too gross. He had to carry he had a bit of pig tongue in his mouth. That's what he had to spit out. Yeah.
Well, why don't you just use a bit of like
why didn't he really bite his
or something?
Because it looked like a tongue. He
said, you could
what's wrong with pig tongue?
People eat pig's tongue in.
But people eat pig's tongue. So although they've got a bit of pig tongue from the butcher, cut a bit off and go, right, there you go. He might have even gone, bit it off, gone, right, action, because he really committed to the part.
Yeah,
he done a lot of good for that.
He did.
So going back onto the score, the music by Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah, I love the score.
For this.
I love the score. I've heard it and I remember it from before. I wouldn't have known it was from Midnight Express, but I remember hearing it going, this is a wicked score. It's one of them, it's like Scarface has got a good score. It's like that kind of thing. It's similar to that.
What do you think that is?
Is it the same bloke?
Yeah.
That's why.
And what else did he do? Another film we done a podcast on, you won't guess this one, from the 80s. We was on with George, one of George's favourite films.
One of George's favourite films?
Never Ending Story.
Oh, is it?
He does the score for Never Ending Story as well. And not only that, because this was his first time he'd done a musical score. This Giorgio Moroder, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Right, but he won an Oscar for this.
Yeah, really deserved to.
He was a music producer and writer. He produced. It was such a long list. I'm not doing them all, but I'll tell you some of the highlights. He done the Donna Summer album, so it's got like "Love to Love You, Baby." He produced "I Feel Love," which was so huge. When David Bowie heard that, he said, "This is the future of music," and he ended up working with him. You know, Hot Stuff, MacArthur Park, No More Tears.
So basically a lot of her hits then.
But MacArthur Park ain't hers. But No More Tears.
Done Summer.
Does she do MacArthur Park as well? I always think of the English actor who does it.
No, she's.
But No More Tears. That's with Barbra Streisand as well. Yeah. He also composed
some good songs. She had quite a lot of good songs actually. Donna Summer. I know. Did she do the what's the name on Last Dance? Is it The Last Dance?
Yeah.
I can't say. Is it Last Dance?
But you're English. Last Dance.
Last Dance.
But Last Dance when you sing it. And he also composed with Phil Oakley Together in Electric Dreams.
Oh, okay.
For that. He also done What a Feeling for the Flashdance film.
He's good then, isn't he? He's quite mixed with all these different categories that he can do.
Well, the song he was most proud of that he done for a film was Take My Breath Away. From Top Gun.
Berlin, yeah.
Take my
Berlin,
breath
innit?
away. Yeah. But yeah, he's worked with David Bowie, Blondie, Kylie Minogue, Bonnie Tyler, Janet Jackson. So he's an absolute legend. He's done so.
I never would have known by his name.
But it was when I was listening to the music for this time round, I thought, I thought this score's brilliant. And I thought, I bet he's the guy who done the Scarface score.
It's mad. I didn't think of that at the time, but I've just married it up to Scarface. It sounds completely different to Scarface, but it's got that kind of same iconic individual sound that goes so well with the film, basically.
Yeah. The film had a lot of firsts for it because even Alan Parker, even though he'd done Bugsy Malone and done a few kids things, this was his first foray into like proper adult stuff.
Okay.
I think that's why he wanted to go so brutal because then after this he'd done The Wall and Angel Heart and things like that.
Brilliant films. Yeah, he's got a good good resume under his belt, isn't he?
But they was lucky also because with Oliver Stone, because he was his first thing, and like Alan Parker, like this was in London, they was writing it. Alan Parker and the producer were in one room. They said Oliver Stone's in the other room. We didn't really like him. We just thought, this weird American in the other room, and we used to sneak out. We didn't want to say good night, Ollie, because he might go, oh, shall I come with you? Are we going to the pub or something? So they used to sort of leave him. And in their head, as the normal thing in movies, writers get shit on all the time. He'd come with the first draft and they'd go, okay, right, thanks, go away. And they'd rewrite it and stuff like that. And he said, when we got the first draft, we thought, this is amazing. This is perfect. We ain't got to change anything. So it's one of those, they did change little bits. Like he actually got rid of, you know how the film ends where he escapes? Spoiler, right? How he escapes at the end.
And he does that jump like the girl out of Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. That was originally going to have, what a thing! No, because the actual escape, like in the book and in real life, took days because he had to go across Istanbul. The real guy, real Billy Hayes was blonde. He had to go dye his hair so he wouldn't be spotted because blonde hair would be spotted from a mile off. He had to, and Oliver Stone had written like about another 9 pages about him escaping through Istanbul and then getting across the border into Greece and stuff. But the director, which I think rightly so, he said, no, the tension is being in prison. And the thought of him escaping and the way that bit at the end, you think, he's got to escape. Yeah. He's got to get out.
He's got to. Because also, he didn't escape the way he escaped because he'd actually been transferred to another prison on an island. So that's, and he escaped from there. So that's the it was a lot of it was very similar to what he went through though. Yeah, and it seemed like so like I didn't realise it was Turkey. I imagined it to be. I don't know where I imagined it to be.
Just some Middle Eastern country.
Really,
maybe.
sort of like really backwardy sort of place. Because
Well, this is why
I know I'm going to Turkey in 2 days, and I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, be careful.
Yeah.
But then Turkey ain't like that now. Well, I hope not.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to be smuggling drugs back, so I should be okay.
Funny you say that. The thing is, this film was banned in Turkey up until 1992. They finally released it. It was actually, and the Turkish government put pressure on France, Spain, Ireland, loads of these other countries to say, do not show this film, and they called it racist. They said, we are not like this. Why are they portraying us like this? And even that Billy Hayes, although at the time, when you see interviews with him at the time and going to the, watching the film for the first time, he got emotional. He said, and when he visited the set it was shot in Malta. He'd say, I get so emotional because it's so close to what happened. Obviously, some of the things were changed for narrative reasons. His girlfriend wasn't with him in Turkey. You know, he didn't kill the guy to escape. That guy was killed, but he was killed outside a restaurant, separate thing.
Yeah.
Loads of it was obviously exaggerated for the sake of the film. And what the complaint was, they said every single Turkish character in it is vile and horrible and, you know, it's racist. Now, Alan Parker has said it's not, and I'm not going to apologise for it. Obviously, if I made it now, I might change a few bits here. And to his credit, he hasn't apologised. Now, on IMDb, it's got these quotes saying as if... so obviously, some people have written on the trivia have sort of bent the truth a little bit. They're saying that Oliver Stone apologised in like 2003, and this other time saying, yeah, I should have written it, that, you know, I should have written some positive Turkish characters. But I've seen an interview with him, that documentary, I sent you a link. There's a really good documentary, a feature length one called like Midnight Continued or Midnight Return, something like that. And in that he says, no, I want to make a point. I have never, and I will never apologise for that script. I'm really proud of it. All I'm saying is, he said, the only thing I ever said was, I'm sorry if that's how this film made you feel. But, like Alan Parker said, used to watch all these old war films with all the Nazis, and they'd always have this one sort of nice Nazi who gives them a fag or something. And you think, that's stupid. This one nice person. So he said, I didn't want to be disrespectful and have a token good Turkish guy. I just had, and he said, it doesn't matter that it's in Turkey. And when I watched it, I never watched it thinking, oh, horrible
I
Turkey.
didn't realise it was Turkey.
And if you look at it properly, the judge who sentenced him to another 30 years,
He actually says, "Oh, I'm sorry."
my hands are tied.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and this is
Even after he's had his big blowout.
yeah,
and
saying
slagging them all
Turkey
off.
and all you bastards and shit. And the judge could turn around and say, you know what? Yeah, have your 30 years. But he didn't. He felt sympathy for him, and he even said that the judge likes you. And
I didn't think you could do that. I didn't think once you've been given a sentence, then that's it. I didn't think they could go right towards the end. Go, actually, no, we changed their mind now.
No, they often do
That's
appeals
it, you can
going
have
the
more.
other way, reducing the sentence. But no, well, apparently they can. But when they try saying it's racist, I think one of the most vile characters in it, who you don't even realise, is like a Westerner, is an English bloke. No, that when he's walking around that big concrete thing, the guy's going, no, you're walking the wrong way. Because he says, like, that, oh, we're all part of the machine. Or
Even
something
like
like
sang out of like Monty Python or something.
Yeah, but he says, oh, they got me in here for like doing something to a kid.
Yeah.
He throwaway comment, and as soon as he said that, I thought, ugh, what a vile, horrible man.
Yeah.
In many ways, he is the worst character in it because he's the fact that he's a nonce.
Yeah.
No one else in there, as far as you know, you don't see characters. They're saying he's a paedophile.
But you think a lot of them are in there for probably something really insignificant.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, like not being funny. What is it, hash as well? But then again, he had loads of hash.
Yeah, but Randy Quaid, he was in there for stealing from a church, stealing candles. His character.
Yeah.
Which is funny because have you ever seen the film The Last Detail?
No.
It's got him and Jack Nicholson. It's a good film.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson and this other sailor, they're transferring Randy Quaid. He's been in trouble. In that, he was done for stealing money from a church. And that's around about the same time as well. It's a good film. You should. You should
The
watch
thing
that.
about this film as well, I could not remember one thing about it. So the whole thing was like watching it for the first time. I know roughly
Beats,
what
you
it's
know, something
about.
like it, yeah.
I didn't know about. I forgot about the tongue bit. I forgot about the cat bit. I forgot about the snidey bloke. I remember the warden. I remember there was like someone tries to rape him, but I thought that was early on. I thought it's when he first got there.
No, there's the bloke who's teaching him how to do all the yoga.
Yeah, they have a kiss and then he says no or something.
Well, yeah, but in real life, they actually had an affair.
Yeah,
I
suppose that was the closest thing to anything in there. You find that in a lot of prisons.
But that was pressure from the studio, because the studio was like, right, we don't want like homosexuality in it and stuff. So
It's 70s as well.
Alan Parker said,
it was still quite.
Yeah, but Alan Parker was like, well, we're having in it, we just won't have him actually sleep with him or do anything.
You could have
and
had
the most he could do was he had that kiss, and then
Yeah.
he sort of pulls away a bit, and that's it.
You could have had you could have like known it's happened without showing anything. You can do that.
That Swedish bloke had the best outcome if you had to pick a character, because he actually got released.
Yeah.
But with that yoga, again with that documentary, it opens with that Billy Hayes now, or say like 10 years, it's probably like 60 or 70, still doing that yoga. He's in such fantastic shape.
Oh, the original. I said
no,
no, because Brad Davis died when he was about 41, 42, didn't he? Was it, or 44?
Yeah.
It was early 40s.
No, the actual guy.
Right,
And it opens with him, because like when you see interviews with him, he's got this big blonde curly hair and a blonde moustache.
Yeah, yoga's good, I think, isn't it? Oh, look at Jerry Halliwell. When she left the Spice Girls, she started doing yoga.
It
She
didn't
went
do her
skinny.
any favours. But no, you see him like at the beginning doing it, and you think he's got such a fantastic body, better body than either of us. And it's probably because of that yoga that he keeps practicing. He keeps doing it and stuff.
Apparently, the prison scenes were so intense that some audience members reportedly walked out during the screenings. And I can sort of see that you would get.
Well, I remember as a child feeling really uncomfortable with it. And even
hitting the bottom of the feet as well, that part as well is horrible, isn't it? You know, you don't think of that kind of. That's how sadistic it is.
Well, again, going back, loads of it was exaggerated.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have got punished from time to time, but how the film is obviously for sensationalism, it will sort of really go down onto the very worst things that ever happen in these sort of situations. He's actually been back to Turkey since that, Billy Hayes, and that's when he sort of.
Well, can't they rearrest him?
No, okay, apparently not. I think he's been offered amnesty or something, but he's gone on record. He's gone there a few times, like he went there a few times unofficially, which I think is playing.
Why would you go back there? I'm not being funny. If that country, if it was that bad, and you was in a place where you thought you was never going to get out, why would you even? There's so many other countries in the world to go to. Why would you even want to go back there? You know.
But he became an actor as well in his own right. Not great, but he's like, it's a film with Charles Bronson shooting him and stuff like that. I think what he loved is because when he came back.
He got this sort of
it was all over
thing, didn't
and he thought, great,
after this
I'll
film
write a
as
book.
well.
So he wrote a book,
Yeah.
and that's it. So he's got him at the Cannes Festival. He really loved it. He loved, and you'd think he would really fuck him
Well,
up.
if you think there's one part of his life, I mean, at one time he looked like he was just going to live and die in that prison, and had no whatever happened, he was at their mercy, sort of thing. You know, he could be good, and they could attack, and they could like frame him for something, or.
Or just,
You know?
like there's the bit,
or rape him or whatever.
there was the bit because before he kills Rafiki from The Lion King, that Rafiki's got that little bit of drugs, and he's saying, well, where'd you get it from? And he just points at John Hurt, doesn't he? Even though it's nothing to do with him. He's like, what? It's not me. And it's quite sad because when you see him in the mental home bit,
and what happens to Randy Quaid's character? Because he gets battered first, and then he's back a few months later, and the second time he gets proper battered, and you don't hear from him again.
No, it's like a ruptured or something. But officially, the death count in that film is 2, including the cat. There's only one person officially dies, and that's the warden at the end, where the back of his head goes into that spot. Which again is a nice. When you see him do it, you think it looks so good. It looks like aesthetically, you look at it and think. I mean, obviously, it would have been a practical thing. It's probably like a pushing
sponge,
or maybe like when you use retractable knives. It might be a retractable thing, but the noise it goes.
That's very good. Several scenes were reportedly toned down before early release because they were considered too psychologically brutal, even for the 1970s audience. So I can imagine if it was like this now. Can you imagine the bits they did cut out? And I don't think you needed any more in it, you know, because there's enough. Like
it's definitely brutal enough.
Yeah,
I mean, really, you'd be hard pressed.
Almost like a snuff film. Some bits.
What I'm saying, you'd be hard pressed to find outside of the horror genre, because even horror, the only one I can think of is Texas Chainsaw Massacre that feels like real.
Yeah.
but this feels so real, and I think it does such a good job. And I think it's really important. This film, I think it's a film that every young person should watch, because whenever I read in the newspaper about
not a lot of youngsters know about it though. That's mad, isn't it? But our generation do.
Yeah, but you hear about like this girl from Essex being arrested in Abu Dhabi for smuggling drugs, and you think, have you not seen Midnight Express?
Yeah.
And it was like today when I spoke to a guy, I think, no, because it's not in the current zeitgeist. No. People have forgotten about this film.
They think they're going to get a slap on the wrist and that's it, fine. And that's, you don't realise that's how stupid people are nowadays.
But I see, like,
of all time, really. I mean, you just get vulnerable people and they don't think of the consequences of their actions.
No, but people who have seen it, like even on US Navy ships, whenever they was going to dock a country where there was like drug problems, they would show this film to the crew. So as if to reiterate, don't do anything stupid, because if you get stuck in one of these prisons,
this is what you're going to be like,
and
it's not worth it.
That's why I think it's worth making it like this. And I know those are people say, oh, but it's horrible that they make a Turkish prison look like that. Tell me one good prison film where they make the prison look like a nice place. No. You look at Scum.
If our prisons were more like that, I think we'd get a lot less crime.
No, but you see, like Scum. Ballstall and Scum, that would have scared loads of kids straight. They would go, I don't want to go in there, because there's no redeeming characters. It's a vile place. Or even Shawshank Redemption, you think, some of the prisoners get on and stuff, but the wardens and the guards, they're all arseholes. So I think it's important. It wouldn't be right to have like this Turkish prison where they're going, oh well, we'll look after you and stuff.
No,
no,
it's a powerful film, and I probably would have never seen it again because I'd sort of forgotten about it. It's only when you mentioned it last week and I thought, oh yeah, Midnight Express, I've seen that years ago and I know I liked it. So I wasn't like up in arms about watching it. But yeah, it was like watching a brand new film because I don't remember one bit out of it. I remember certain aspects of where, this is going to happen, but you look and you think, there's just no hope in there. What would you do? You've just got no hope. And it's just dirty and grimy and just horrible.
The things I remembered from watching it as a kid, because as I said, it's been about 30 years, I remembered the three main characters. I remembered him, obviously, the main guy. I remembered John Hurt and Randy Quaid, like vaguely. I remember them being in it. I remember the scene where his girlfriend's in the prison and she gets her tits out and he's obviously like...
I remember that when it happened. Certain bits, like the tongue, I remembered once it happened.
I remember him, I don't remember exactly who it was, but I remember the means of escape, how he pushed the bloke and his head went back. And I remember him sort of, how tense it feels where he's walking out, he's dressed up, he's done the right thing, dressed up as a guard, and that guy calls him, hey! And you think, he can talk a bit of Turkish, but the guy's going to, as soon as he talks, he's going to know he's not another guy. How he just chucks the keys at him, so he's obviously saying, like,
it's very like sort of keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Like as much so as the beginning.
Yeah,
it's I don't think Alan Parker won an Oscar.
It's the thing is, this film was so well known by everyone. Everyone I think that we knew growing up, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, parents, all that. Everyone sort of knew this film. This is not a film that a lot of people, unless, as I say, from our generation, unless you like. They'd go, oh, I've never heard of it. Never seen it.
Younger people and anyone. I think anyone.
Like Scarface is still about. Taxi Driver's still about. Why not this?
I know, and I think it deserves to be, and I think it's aged brilliantly because this time that I watched it was the most that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a very good film. Very good.
Columbia wanted Richard Gere to play the main part.
It would have been alright.
But Parker refused, especially because Richard Gere refused to audition and he wanted to see if they're right for the part. Dennis Quaid was considered. He'd actually done a really good audition for it.
Yeah.
And it would have been, his brother had already been cast.
And he looked more like him, I suppose, because he's fair.
Yeah, well, someone else who was fair, who wanted to audition, they didn't let him, was Mark Hamill. Luke Skywalker, because obviously off the back of Star Wars he was popular, but he's thinking, I'm going to forever be known as Luke Skywalker. And because all of America knew about this Billy Hayes story, when he heard that they was making the film, he chucked his hat in the ring and said, oh, let me do it, I can do it. And I think he would have done a good, he looks more like him, but I still think that Brad Davis, fantastic.
Oh, brilliant, and it's nice because considering that he's now dead, it's like it's his legacy now, that film. It's that little capsule that's captured.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell and John Travolta were also considered.
Yeah, Kurt Russell would have been great in it as well.
Yeah.
John Travolta, I think, no, it's a bit too soon after Grease, really, isn't it? You know, this would have been the same sort of time as Grease. Grease was 78, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Maureen McCormick.
Oh, she's
Marsha
Brady.
From Brady. Really pursued the role of the girlfriend, Susan. She desperately wanted to do it. She even said, I'm happy to do the nudity. I really want to do this.
Really?
But Alan Parker said, no, because America knows you as Marsha Brady. And it's going to distract. So,
I mean, that's it. She is so that is so iconic, that character, isn't it?
And a sequel was planned.
Yeah, well, no.
The only thing
that's just cashing in.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of doing a sequel, because the best sequels are the ones that don't try to recreate the first thing, do something different. I would have had, if they said, right, you make a sequel.
It was like a cake shop or something.
Yeah, in Istanbul. No, I would have had it continue from the exact moment that film ends,
and then
had him going through Turkey, and you'd have had all bits where they get really close to getting him, and him finally getting across. So it'd just been like him going through the streets.
Part of that,
rather than try and do another prison film, like he's tried to smuggle again.
And then he goes back, because you wouldn't do, would you?
Amnesty International initially had a tie-in with this film, but they revoked it once they'd seen the film. Because obviously,
what made you pick this film then?
Because you're going Turkey.
Cheers.
No, but I also thought, it's a film that I'd always wanted to do for the podcast because it's one I hadn't seen for years. I was sort of waiting for you to suggest it.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. That's what I'm saying. I've forgotten about it.
I thought I'd seen it on one of your lists. No, I thought I'd seen it.
No.
Maybe it was something else I saw in there, like Midnight Run or something.
No, I haven't seen that either.
And then I also thought, well, I'm going to be editing this.
Not Polar Express, was it?
That's probably what it was.
Imagine, I wouldn't put that film.
No, but imagine like
let's watch Polar Express. Midnight Express. Put that on for the kids.
Say like Ralph and a bunch of little kids with round mums, and she went, "What do you want to watch? Polar Express, all right."
What's that? Midnight Express.
She's seen the Express a bit. Put out and go right. If you need me, I'll be in my room, and they'll be sitting there. Hear him crying. The cat's dead.
Traumatised.
No, as I said, I was pleasantly. I knew I liked the film anyway, but I actually like it even more.
But especially where neither of us seen it for about 30 odd years, it's we're remembering it from younger eyes. That it's rare to go back to something and still like find it as fascinating and understand why it was such a big film.
Yeah, and like you said, for our generation and older, people know the film. Like it's been referenced in The Simpsons.
Just a moment. Don't shoot, they're souvenirs. You must pay a fine of $2 American. Okay.
But also I was thinking, you ain't got, but you could send a few pictures from Turkey, see what it actually looks like.
Well, no, it ain't going to be like that. I ain't going to no sort of areas like that.
I'm not asking you to, but like for fair disclosure and to make people happy, you could just take a couple of pictures. Just send me some pictures of you in Turkey. Is that so hard? You do that anyway.
I'll take some pictures of Turkey, but it's not going to be like the pictures in Turkey that you've seen in this film. It ain't going to be like that. It'll be a lot nicer.
Okay.
So,
have you been there before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, great film.
Yeah, really good film. So, want the IMDb? Well,
no, and it should be sent. It should be showed, as I said, to young people. It should be showed in school. I know it seems a bit extreme, but this is an educational film.
It should at least be on like some network somewhere or on telly. But then again, they cut stuff out of telly, don't they? It's just, I think where it is nowadays, there's so many channels and there's too much to choose from, so you just don't know, do you? You know?
Yeah, but there's things like this should, like you said, they should be in the same kind of bracket as things like Scarface and Taxi Driver. That it's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You watch Midnight Express when you're like about 15, and with any luck, years later, when you've gone off to some other country, you're out in the Middle East, or even Turkey, or any country. Yeah. You're out in America, and you think, or Mexico, and you're thinking,
I'd never take.
Oh look, they've given this really good belt where they can hide it inside the belt and stuff. You watch this film and you go, no, You know, life's more important.
Never.
I'd not give up my time.
No, definitely not.
So, IMDb?
IMDb, this film got 7.5 out of 10. So
Okay.
that's a good rating.
It's good, but I think it should be slightly higher, but go on.
Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave it 90%, and the audience 88%.
So it's very good.
Very good.
This is why I think the IMDb score should be a little bit higher. Yeah. I'm going to hazard a guess that the ones marking it down IMDb hear the racism accusations and just instinctively knee-jerk go, yeah, how dare you? And as I said, like loads of Turkey, the Turkish government hate the film because they think there's no positive
I can understand
people.
why.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So they're moaning about there's no positive people. We're English. How many films has the English been the bad guys and there's no positive people? You look at something like Braveheart, the vile English, we're going to take Scotland, and every one of them's scum.
Oh, people just look for things to
The Patriot, you know, and the British are burning down churches, which they didn't do. But we just go, oh, well,
it's scummy, but I think there's scummy people
everyone's scummy,
in every country.
You know, we, at the end of the day, we're the ones who abolished the slave trade. We're the ones who sort of increased life expectancy in all the countries that we went to because we introduced medicine and education and we sort of connected the world. So give us some credit. But for years, the English have always been the bad guys because the Americans go, oh, these are the bad guys, you know, because then it gives them a free pass.
Yeah.
We don't care about it. Turkey, you get this one film where, okay, it's in a Turkish prison. What do you want all like good Samaritans like in the prison?
Like bad girls.
That's
not bad girls.
Scrubbers. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, and the budget for this film was $2.3 million, and the box office, it made $35 million.
That's great.
So
great
return. Really good return.
Yeah.
As I say, it's a shame that it is sort of disappeared because there's so much out there now, and unless you are one of these films that are sort of cemented in pop culture and stuff like that, you know, that it don't matter what generation there's films like Breakfast Club, there's Scarface, Taxi Driver, all these ones, Back to the Future, you've got to be cemented somewhere. Whereas these ones that just sort of fall away, and they're just as good, if not better.
Yeah, but there's loads of films which you watch and you think it was a good film. I don't really remember much for this. This has such a visual scene.
It's got a good message.
You remember him getting caught at the airport. You remember like these things. They're so, and it lives with you, even if you don't remember everything.
I remembered it when it happened. I thought, I remember that bit. I remember that bit. But it's a really good film.
And it's an important. It's important.
And then when that little snidey bastard finds the hole and goes, tells them, and you think, you fucking, and you keep thinking, how are they going to get away now? And then he goes, this is like months later, and he's in like sort of like the mental hospital part of it. It's just, you just feel like, are they going to get a break? And you think, he's got to, I know he gets out. I remembered that, but I just don't know I couldn't remember how. But then when it happened, I remembered it straight away.
Yeah. So, what have you picked?
Right, next week, I've picked, it's the prequel, it's what Billy Hayes was like before this film, Drop Dead Fred.
Oh, okay. About his imaginary friend.
Yeah, no, Drop Dead Fred, because I just think Rick Mel, it was such a fantastic actor and he was such a good comedian. And it's a film I've not seen for probably another 20, 30 years, maybe, or 20 odd years. And so I'd like to revisit it and just to sort of see like if it still holds up. And I'm sure, because I like Rick Mel's kind of humour, I'm sure it will still hold up. So
let's see.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. Something completely different to this film, a bit more light-hearted. So next week is Drop Dead Fred.
So please like, subscribe, share, email us at justthatfilm@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And
share.
And share.
You keep saying all them bloody shares at the end of mine, and there's so many shares I have to download to stick on the pictures.
In all honesty, I forgot this was my podcast. I thought I'll go easy on him. I'll just say share once.
Yeah. But last week you didn't. You said it about 50 times.
Yeah, because you've done it on the
previous one. And I got to the end of it. No, I didn't.
Look listen, I guarantee, if you go back over the last 10 podcasts,
there's so many
look
pictures
how many
of
shares
this week, last week's one.
Look how many pictures of share.
Yeah,
Look how many pictures of share I have to put on mine compared to yours.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's just not do it no more. We'll do 1 or 2 shares and that's enough.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Unless we're watching Wishes of Eastwick.
Yeah, share. Right, okay, we'll see you next week. Have a lovely week and we'll get back to you with Drop Dead Fred. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.